Good morning, Emmy. It's Sunday morning. Not too early. 9 o'clock, maybe 8:30, something like that. Take a walk out to the garden. Have a look. See what's going on. Show you what I got done here the last couple of days. Here's my tractor that's acting up on me. I'm gonna have to do some work on this thing to get it running right. But this is the garden area that I am preparing for the onions right here. I'm going to put the onions in a couple rows right here. I want to rake this a little more, probably till it again. And this fence is where the tomatoes were. And I still have a row of hot pepper plants right there. They probably need to come out. And this area here I want to burn before I till it. And this area here has been tilled and raked, and I'm going to put a couple rows of the brassicae in here, the cabbage and cauliflower and the broccoli, and get my winter crop going here. So I have some cabbages and cauliflowers in the spring. But walking down this way, we're headed east. You can see how long this garden is here. Had tomatoes all along this fence, the full length of this fence here. But down here a ways, I had cabbage and cauliflower growing in this row this summer, and they didn't do very well. It was too hot, I think. So they do pretty good in cold weather, but they don't do worth a darn in the summer heat here. It gets really hot here. So I got this all raked out, but I think I'm going to rake it again and maybe till it again. Try to get it flattened out a little bit better. Right in through here I had mustard greens and collard greens planted, and some of them went to seed. And you can see here we're walking in kind of a driveway here. Here's a mustard plant, and I thought this guy was all alone, but here's another one. Here's some more mustard growing right here. So I need, and there's mustard all the way up through here. I need to, here's another little cluster. I need to get this irrigation system set up and get this stuff transplanted over here so I can have some mustard. Okie doke. Now, I'm going to show you my water system. Down here, about 600 feet maybe. We're walking through a walnut orchard here. There's walnuts all over the ground. I hear them crunching under my feet. This is my pasture right now. Nice and green. Cattle are grazing it off, keeping the grass pretty short. I think too many cattle here. Okay, this is all my property right here. Nice and flat. And you see this mound of dirt runs the length of the pasture here. That helps me control the flow of the water. And right in here, there's a cap right there that I can open, and water will come out of that cap. There's an underground line right there, and that underground line runs along here underground. This is my neighbor's place. I lease this from my neighbor. keep it in pasture. And those are Susan's cows out there. But way down there, kind of hidden behind them trees, there's a big water tank, and it sits right on a canal, and they pump water out of the canal into that tank, and that pressurizes this water line, and the water line flows underground right along this fence line here. There you can see that tank down there. Okay, I open this valve. This is where it comes out of the ground. Here's the meter. I open this valve and it runs into this line. You can see how big this line is. It's about 8 inches here. It runs underground and then it runs up toward my property. And I take the water out of this line and flood irrigate the pasture when the water's cheap. Right now it's too expensive to irrigate, so but that's where my water comes from. I can turn it on and off whenever I want. I just got to pay for whatever I use. And last year it was cheap. This year it's very, very expensive. It's about 3 times more than it was last year. So I paid for some in advance, and I still have some water that I could use. I'm probably going to wait, use it in the springtime, unless we go for a long period without rain here, and then I'll run some, make sure that I get it down close to the well. Hopefully replenish my well. But that's where my water comes from, and that's how I get water on my pasture. Right here is where I made the last repair to the irrigation line. You can just, man, I'm almost sliding on these walnuts. So that line runs in a straight line from that valve down there with the meter. Comes right through here, and it comes to this standpipe right here. It's not really a standpipe. I put this here to protect it from the cows. But there's an anti-siphon valve in here. Comes up off of that water line down there, and I just teed into it. The water comes out here, runs into this hose, and I'll have that stretched out along here, and off of that then we'll feed these drip tapes. And this drip tape got little holes perforated in it. Here's a series of them right here. A little hole every foot or so. So then I can